Nagendra sir, you have to wear a hat now.
ಆಟ
ಹೌದು.
ನಮಗ್ ಟೋಪಿ ಹಾಕಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ರೂಢಿ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಇಲ್ಲ, hats off ಅನ್ನಕ್ಕೆ.
ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಟೋಪಿ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಮುಂದೆ ಬರ್ಬೇಕು.
We already have 2 competitors there. Satish is wearing a hat.
ಹಾಕಿಸ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನೀವೇ ಹಾಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ ಅಂತಿದಾರ. ಸೇಫ್ ಅದು.
ಅಲ್ಲ, Satish is already there. ಆಮೇಲೆ I don't know, you have seen Naveen has
Sunday 5th June 4:30 to 6.
Okay.
ಸರ್
Prakash Belwadi and
ಯಾರೋ ಮಕ್ಕಳೆಲ್ಲ ಗಲಾಟೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದಾರಲ್ಲ.
ಟೋಪಿ ಹಾಕೊಂಡೆ ಸರ್.
ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನಂದೀಶ್ ಹಿರೇಮಠ್ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಸರ್.
ಟೋಪಿ ಹಾಕೊಂಡೆ ನಾನು.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
who sent it to me today. Doesn't know that. No, it will come. Normal course.
ಟೋಪಿ ಬೇಕಾ ಸರ್? ಟೋಪಿ
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ
ರಘುರಾಮ್ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ಟೋಪಿ ಸೇಲ್ಗಿದೆ.
Good evening, everybody. Tejaswini downtown.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Satish, good to go.
ಚಂದ್ರ ಪ್ರಕಾಶ್ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. You got so much of patience to see.
Good evening, TV.
Tell him because let him tap her once. So she will come in at 6:30 alva.
ಎಲ್ರು ಕಾಫಿಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡಿ ಸರ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗೆ.
ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಕೊಡಿ ಸರ್, ವರ್ಚುವಲ್ ಕಾಫಿ ಕುಡಿಯೋಣ.
ಗುಡ್ ಈವ್ನಿಂಗ್, ಎಲ್ರು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡಿ.
ಹನುಮಂತ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಕೋಲಾರ್.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಹನುಮಂತ ಅವರೇ, ಆರಾಮ? ಆರಾಧ್ಯ ಅವರು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಪ್ಪಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇವಾಗ.
ಸೇವೆ ಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ?
ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ಗಿರೀಶ್ your ಟೋಪಿನಾ? DLB, we want to. Can you hear us, DLB?
ಟೋಪಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ.
Okay, Krishna Arjun. Krishna.
Good evening, everyone.
Raj. Yeah, Krishna and DLB, can you?
So we are live and we are good to go.
Good to go. And DLB is DLB, can you hear us? Yeah, I just wanted his attention because he is the host. So
You wanted to make someone co-host, huh?
And then phone
okay, so you do it, Krishna. You have the Krishna, I think, just DLB.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಈಗ ಅನ್ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Satish, good to go.
Yeah.
Are you able to hear me properly now, Satish?
Yes, sir.
You'll have to just increase a little more.
Krishna Arjun?
Yes, sir.
Camera is clear now?
Yes, sir. It's clear. Slightly better, sir.
Better.
Yeah, I know it's better than yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a different laptop.
Okay.
Today I'd been to the beauty parlor.
Krishna Arjun, can I mute? Can you mute everybody, please, once again, and make DLB the co-host?
Sure, sir. Once again.
ಫಸಲ್ ಸರ್, ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆ ಲೈಟ್ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಅದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದನ್ನ.
That light is falling on the backdrop. That was a good suggestion.
It's the other light. PG, there's one more light. You are muted. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Just check.
Srinivas Murthy has to be made co-host. Krishna.
Yes, sir.
I'm just sending you the agenda so that.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
First morning, BTD. Oh, nice.
No, it's not MG Srinivas Murthy. I think it was Srinivas Murthy from Pina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his photo is there. Dark coat.
Is it spelled EENI?
No, Srinivas,
I found him.
SRINIVAS Murthy.
Yes, found him, sir.
Yes, okay. Good.
Anyone else, sir?
Then Prakash Balwadi is going to make the announcements on.
I'm already a co-host, Satish.
Okay. Prakash, even your voice is feeble. What happened? South Bangalore, everyone's got a feeble voice. 2 days hectic, is it?
Yeah. I think now you can hear me.
Yeah, make it a little better, please. If you
Can I make it? Okay, I will.
Yeah. Okay, Sridhar BR has to be given.
He has not yet logged in. I'm sending him the link now. He'll be logging in now.
Okay. And then we have Aneja, and of course the district trainer and DGE. And when PDG Sureshwari joins, make him co-host. Yeah. DGE, with your permission, good to go?
Yes, Satish, please go ahead.
Good evening, friends. Very warm welcome. And thank you for joining in at 5:30. I saw about 100 participants, and within the last 10 minutes, we are at about 350 participants. And I don't know how many of them are streaming this program on YouTube as we speak now. Friends, it's customary that, during all the programs, we are spending a minute in silence for all the people who have left us. And as you know, every day we have people leaving us. Even today, we lost a very dear friend. And I request all of you all to observe a minute's silence for the departed. Thank you, friends. Thank you so much. Last 2 days has been hectic. We started on Friday evening, Saturday and Sunday, continuous sessions. And in fact, I was very surprised. We had about 800 to 900, almost 900 participants being part of the training sessions yesterday. And today we had about 600 plus being part of the session. That shows the commitment and dedication. We are motivated and inspired to do better from the district training team. So we will start the program now with requesting our Lieutenant Governor Designate, Rotary Srinivas Murthy from Pina, to formally welcome all of you all.
Thank you, Satish. On behalf of District 3190, I extend a warm welcome to our beloved District Governor, B.L. Nagendra Prasad, and our soft-spoken gentleman, Governor-elect Fazal Mohammad Bhai. I welcome him for this concluding session, and I welcome District Trainer Dr. S. Nagendra, and I also welcome PDG Sureshari, and also welcome Jitu Bhai, District Governor nominee Jitendra Aneja, and I also welcome the first lady president of Rotary International in the past 116 years. She will be the first lady president. A special guest to our concluding session, Jennifer Jones. We extend very warm welcome to our India, and that to Bangalore District 3190. And I also welcome Satish Madhavan, Prakash Belwade, B.R. Sridhar, and all the Rotarians who are on this virtual platform. I could see DLV Sharma, Secretary Designate, and so many other Rotarians I could see here. I extend a very warm welcome for this concluding session. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Srinivas Murthy. You've been a great friend. You've been someone whom I've always relied on for a lot of things, to know about Rotary, to help whenever I've had a challenge with getting by, doing Rotary related work and with projects. You've been a great support to the current governor, and you added a lot of value. Thank you so much for being with us today and continuing to be on the team to lead all of us in the year coming by. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Friends, now is the time to give you a glimpse of the next year's conference. We've had a very difficult time this year because the conference was scheduled in the month of February, and we still haven't been able to complete this conference. And I believe it's going to be a virtual conference this year. Already the announcements have been made, and I really want to appreciate and place on record the efforts of our District Governor, Rotarian Nagendra Prasad, and the conference chair, Rotarian Ambika Narayan, for persisting with giving all our Rotarians an experience of a conference, without shying away from the difficult times. They are planning, they are going ahead, and they are going to have this district conference on 26th and 27th. So now I'm going to talk about the next conference that we have planned. Just give me a minute. Okay, let me just share screen, please. This is about the 45th District Rotary District Conference. Usually, the next district conference is announced in the current district conference, and since it was delayed and we had a few challenges, we are still holding on to this. So I want to give you an announcement. The tentative date for the next conference, my friends, is going to be the 45th District Conference is going to be on the 29th and 30th of January 2022. We are going to have it in Bangalore. We are, in fact, we thought of going outside, but then decided that Bengaluru is the best place to have the conference. So these are tentative dates. We don't know how things are going to pan out. We're already talking about a third wave coming in. So we're not sure. It could be a virtual conference or it could be a physical conference. So there is so much of uncertainty, but DGE says that we need to go with the date, and this is the date for you, friends. We also have a very nicely put together conference team. This conference team is, let me just open up the conference team. It is a fantastic conference team coming up for you all. In fact, very committed Rotarians from clubs across Bangalore. So we have District Governor Rotarian Fazal Mahmood, who's going to be with us throughout. The counselor for next year's conference is PDG Rotarian Vishwanath Shetty from Midtown. I'm going to be the chairman. The vice chair is going to be Rotarian Naveen Kariyappa from downtown. Conference secretary is Rotarian Rajaram Krishnamurthy from Rajmal Vilas. Another conference secretary is going to be Rotarian Krishna Marianka from Baswangudi. The joint secretary is Rotarian Raghavendra Inamdar from RR Nagar Centennial. And our conference treasurer is Rotarian Madhusudan BD from Nandini. So this is the team. In fact, we have a large team. We have about 80 people working in the conference team. We will also announce the next set of the core team of the conference in a short while from now. That will happen during the district conference that is going to come up on 26th and 27th. So friends, I would request Krishna Arjun if we can just spotlight the conference team along with me here. Can we have, if Vishwanath Shetty sir is there, I will also look for Rajaram is here. So I'm just adding Rajaram. Rajaram is one of the conference secretaries. Of course, our Krishna Marianka lost his father some time back, so he's not joining us. In fact, we have Raghavendra Inamdar, then we have Madhusudan. Okay, give me 1 second. We have Madhusudan here. I can see him here. Then I have not been able to.
Satish Naveen.
No, I'm just looking for Naveen. Yeah, I got him. Yeah. So there's Naveen. Hi, Naveen. You're also wearing a hat today. Yeah? And of course, the man who's going to guide and ensure that you guys have a great confidence, a great 45th conference is going to be our own DGE, Fazal Mahmood. And this is going to be a team which is going to get cracking on the conference, and we will work towards making it a very unique experience for all of you all. So that's it from the conference team. And I request Krishna Arjun to remove the spotlights and request awards director designate Rotarian Prakash Belwadi to take over and announce how the awards are going to pan out in the next year.
Thanks, Satish.
Prakash, your voice is feeble, like I said.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, better. It's better.
Okay. This year, the awards is going to be a little different. The awards fundamentally is for encouraging, like the Rotarians and recognizing the wonderful work that all of you are doing. We are going to be a little different this year in terms of awards. As one is, the awards are fundamentally going to be a self-assessment kind of awards. In the sense, you people, we are giving you a point system. We are giving you a tabulation, which you can see on your screens right now. The tabulation columns are there. So every month you are going to decide on, what work you have done, and you're going to award points to yourself, and you're going to, report back to us saying that this is, a number of points that your club has earned. Yeah, there could be some cross verification that we may do in terms of, membership and things like that. But otherwise, prima facie, we would definitely be, trusting you and taking what you have given. So it will be a self-assessment kind of system. Number two, it's going to be a totally transparent system in the sense, it's going to be a clear point-based system where you know how many points you have got, and like there is nothing left to chance here. So it's very transparent. Like the awards is the governor has certain things in his mind, and he has some vision in his mind. Like the awards has been planned according to his vision, according to his priorities. For the first time, we would be giving having separate verticals of the 7 focus areas. Till now, like we were only working on the this one the uh, this one verticals of awards used to be membership, and then the avenues of service. But this time we would be working on apart from avenues of service and membership and foundation, we will also be focusing on the areas of focus. So there will be separate awards for areas of focus, and the work you do in your areas of focus will make you eligible for the best club and all those things. I mean, that is taken into consideration for that. As far as the areas that the focus areas that the district is looking at from the this one district governor's point of view, we are looking at a lot of collaboration between the clubs in the district. So there is a award point of 250 points per club awarded for Sahayoga. Sahayoga is going to be very similar to the Besuge that is being done this year. That is one outside Bangalore club. I mean, 2 Bangalore clubs and 1 outside Bangalore club together doing projects. So all the projects that you do along with your Sahayoga partner clubs, all the clubs are eligible for 250 points for the thing. We are also focusing a lot on collaboration outside, expanding your reach, being one of the with this one strategic plan points of the Rotary International. So we're looking at Seva Setu, that is collaborating with like-minded NGOs across, so that you work with other NGOs, and like we have a larger reach. And there are some innovative projects that the governor has come up with, which will be a part of the award system. One is, like housing for the homeless called Nivasa. These are portable homes that the governor is working on. This is going to be one project which, we are looking at. Then one more area that the governor is looking at is humane policing, where, we sort of bridge the gap between the public and the police, and create some kind of value addition in the whole system. We are also looking at happy homes, like the way we are doing happy schools, improving the schools, the same way we are looking at happy homes where there is a general improvement in the rural homes. And we are also focusing on the Prime Minister's project of Har Ghar Jal Se Nal Se Jal. So that is taps, water taps for rural households. We are also looking at the source of malnutrition, in the sense, the governor says malnutrition, we are only addressing malnutrition among children, but the actual source of this malnutrition among children is malnutrition or lack of nutrition to the pregnant mothers. So there'll be some focus on awareness and also nutrition for pregnant women, so that like we address this problem at the source. There'll be a lot of skill development at various levels for the youth, for the rural masses, for the underprivileged. There'll be a lot of skill development workshops. And one more innovative project that is coming up this year will be Vyapari Mitra, which is basically aimed at improvement of the lot of the street vendors, that is the hawkers and the petty shopkeepers. So these are projects that will be focus areas from, apart from all the other projects that we regularly do. These will be some focus areas which the governor is looking at, and we have allotted points for all these things. And in the special, we are also looking at some innovative projects in the areas of focus. So you will be able to earn about 1,200 points in every area of focus if you can bring in on board some really innovative projects that are going to be very different from what we are doing. Some kind of out of the box thinking, some kind of really innovative project that will bring in difference, that will make a difference in the society. This again, these 1,200 points will be at the discretion of the governor. this is in the gist of what we have done. We have already discussed the award points and this one to the presidents and the secretaries. We would be sending you out the documents, and if you have any doubts at any point of time, you can come back to us and we'll be able to clarify all the points. Thank you so much, Satish, for this opportunity. DG, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Prakash. You have done a wonderful job in both citation and awards. Thank you so very much.
Pleasure, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, DG, and thank you, Prakash. Friends, we have our counselor for conference. He's joined us. His video was not on, but I just reached out to him. I would like to highlight our district conference counselor for next year, PDG Rotarian Vishwanath Shetty. Believe me, friends, I think a lot of you all may not know this. Even I was not there in Rotary when he had his conference. I think even after about 20 or 25 years, people are still talking about a conference that he had. Amazing conference, I believe. Everybody, everybody's benchmark is, can we match Vishwanath Shetty sir's conference? That is what everybody, in fact, when I took over when DG gave me this assignment, the first thing I was asked is, can you match his conference? So it's a tall order. So I decided that I'll first make him my counselor and learn from the guru as to how to do this and how to achieve it. Sir, with your blessings and help, I believe that we can have a wonderful conference, sir, in the coming year. Thank you so much for being with us, sir. Friends, moving on, I'll now request our another Lieutenant Governor designate, Rotarian Sridhar BR, to talk to you about the CSR opportunities that exist for all the clubs in our district. Sridhar?
Yeah, thank you, Satish. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, Sridhar, go ahead. Yes.
Yeah. Very good evening to all of you. Very good evening, DG. Friends, in the previous session, past President Rotarian Ramesh, we are presented the same topic, CSR grants, in a detailed 20 minutes presentation. With a given time of 8 minutes, I'll just take a few very important points in terms of CSR opportunities. From 1st April 2021, any implementing agency, here when I talk about implementing agency, it's going to be Rotary, has to have these compliances. From 1st April, implementing agency, that is Rotary, should have these compliances documents. That is, the Rotary Club or a trust should have unique CSR registration obtained from Ministry of Corporate Affairs. The implementing agency, again Rotary, should have tolle ATG from Income Tax Department. And again, implementing agency should have 3 years financial report and the PAN card. Friends, in our district, out of 150 clubs, only few clubs can provide all these documents to multinational company to implement CSR projects. Now, with the new CSR grants, thanks to our senior leaders in our district or in India, for a new grant type called CSR India grant. It's a very, very innovative program of Rotary Foundation India. I'm sure this is a big game changer for all of us to have more projects, more CSR partners to execute the projects. I'll just give a gist of the points, what exactly CSR India grants. Now, as I said, only few clubs are having the compliances documents to execute the projects. Now, all the 150 clubs can execute the projects because many Rotary clubs have very good contact with the CSR partners because of the compliances documents, because of the due diligence. No, they are not able to execute the projects. Now, with the help of Rotary Foundation India, in the previous session, Tiku said Rotary Foundation India belongs to all of us. Rotary Foundation India belongs to all the clubs. Friends, Rotary Foundation India has all the compliances documents. Rotary Foundation India has ATG, tolle, CSR unique number, PAN card. All these documents will provide to the clubs by Rotary Foundation India. So this is, I'm just giving the gist of CSR India grants. The club has to identify CSR partner Once the club identified CSR partner, our foundation, that is the Rotary Foundation India, will provide all the documents requested by the multinational company. All the documents will be provided by the TRF on behalf of the clubs. Then TRF sign MOU with multinational company and receive funds from multinational company. Now, the clubs can add cash contribution, or you can request DDF to the same project to augment to increase the grant amount. Now the TRF will disburse the funds to the club account for execution of the projects. It's a very simple process. Suppose if you don't have, I'll just explain again. If any clubs, if they don't have any documents, as per the requirement of the multinational company, all you need to do is request TRF India to provide all the documents. On behalf of the clubs, TRF India will provide all the documents. So then TRF India will provide all the documents on behalf of the clubs. TRF India will sign the document on behalf of the clubs and receive the funds from multinational company, and same funds will be transferred to the club account for the implementation of the project. It's a very simple process. It's a big changer, game changer, as I said. All the clubs who has very good contact with the multinational company can make use of this, a very unique program from Rotary Foundation. Other very important point I would like to mention is the corporates will receive certificate of appreciation from one of the best NGO, best charity in the world, Rotary Foundation. They also receive thank you letter. Very important, the corporates will receive the major donor recognition, maybe a major donor or first level, second level, third level AKs. That recognition will be received by the corporates. There are a few very important points to remember. To execute CSR India grants, the minimum contribution should be $21,000. That includes 5% overhead fee. CSR funds may only be used to fund CSR in India. Very important, international partner is not required here. CSR reporting will be done annually. The reporting will also be taken care by Rotary Foundation. There is no matching from foundation here. CSR fund will not be matched, as I said. Recognitions to corporate heads and corporate logo on GG projects will be there. I think this is a very brief presentation from my side. You can contact me for more or any district resources for any further information. Thank you, DG Fazal, for the opportunity.
Thank you, Sridhar. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sridhar.
Thank you so much for giving all the clubs and all the participants here an idea as to how they can do projects, how they can go ahead and talk to CSR companies and still do projects without having their own compliance requirements in place. Sridhar, you've been a guiding force for a lot of clubs, especially with global grant projects. And, in fact, I have reached out to you many a time to help me. And you've always been a wonderful person when it comes to doing projects, being a great Rotarian. Thank you so much for being with us today. Friends, now it's time to listen to another great leader of our district who's been elected as district governor nominee, Rotarian Jitendra Aneja. A wonderful person. I call him by a brother, very, very good friend. He's been diligently following all through the last 2 days. He's been there at every program, and we request him to give his impressions. He's been observing, he's been planning, he's been thinking about how things can be made better year on year. So, Vijayan sir, if you are ready, please go ahead. You've been made co-host, so you can.
It's okay. Yeah. As long as I'm unable to unmute and you listen is fine. Thank you, Satish. DG Fazal Mahmood, with your permission, I would start now.
Please, sir, please.
So I have been
it's all yours.
Given a great task of summing up in 7 to 8 minutes the excellent work which has been put up by this training team, and excellent participation shown by Rotarians of 3190 in about 8 minutes. And this is, I think, work of 14 hours and maybe 20 cumulative hours of the parallel sessions which went on there. Well, DG Fazal, our great gentleman friend, our district trainer, PDG Dr. S. Nagendra, whom I also call a maestro and a great learned man, district mentor, PDG KP Nagesh, Deputy Trainer Satish, Srinivas Murthy, my other friends here, and I see some of the College of Governors also here, my friend Rajendra Rai, I saw Manjunath Shetty, I'm not able to see many of you on the screen. The incoming leaders for the coming year. What a fantastic 3 days it has been. Friends, from morning till evening, I can assure you, I have been following every program, and it didn't give me a possibility to take a wink. You know, it kept you awake all the time. I wouldn't express what Fazal has said. I will not express what Dr. S. Nagendra has said. You know, the fantastic views they put forward because they opened every session. I would only talk about the other speakers. You know, the day one started with Satish giving the program details in his great own style and a new look. You know, I think you look like an integral feature of our everyday program now, Satish. You are doing a great job. Let me tell you, and let me compliment you, you know, and this comes to you because when we are discussing this program is going live in my home also, you know, my wife listens, my son listens, my daughter listens. So
Thank
they
you.
also say, you know, what a great friend you have in Satish as well.
Thank you, DGN. Thank you.
And Dr. S. Nagendra, you always are right on dot when it comes to purpose of anything which you talk about. And that is what you gave that day. And what a revelation. Our own gentleman governor, another gentleman governor, Nagendra Prasad, you know, what a message he gave. Something fantastic, you know. And I will quote only 2 lines, which is worth remembering. You invoked our dharma and karma from the Gita's theory. But what he said, and what is true for every Rotarian to perform, that there is no poison for positivity and there is no medicine for negativity. I think it's a great message across to all the Rotarians of us that if we have to move together, walk longer, follow this dictum. And Fazal Bhai, you know, your message you have been giving in for before every session, it has been fantastic. And then what we fully agree with you when you say there is huge responsibility on the shoulders of the Rotarians during this time. And only thing which we can give to the society is love, compassion, and kindness. And I think this is itself, these 4 lines are a great message to all the Rotarians. And it will definitely pump up your all incoming leaders for the next year. And as in last 2 years, it started difficult times with Samir's ending of the year. Our Governor Nagendra Prasad inherited COVID. It is going to end in COVID, but I'm telling you, you know, you have continuing with this kind of great service, and it is going to take us forward. And now to talk about KP Nagesh, you know, something, the topic which he was given, importance of club leadership. You know, he is a leader of leaders, I can tell you. And he very aptly described 3 people in succession as Rohit Sharma, Dhoni, and Virat Kohli. You know, I was a little flattered when he called me Virat Kohli. Fazal Bhai, you have been, you know, so calm, cool, Dhoni-like, and the great achiever. But what a message he gave was that 4 C's, apply those 4 C's, communications, continuity, customization, and club fellowship. He says, if you build this synergy, which is like required in an IPL team, and you consider a president like an MDA of a company, secretary as a CEO, and treasurer as CFO, there is no reason any club will not do well. Fantastic. And then, friend, icing on the cake, what to tell about Kamal Sangvi. I think I received at least 10 calls from the Rotarians on how he spoke and how it has motivated them. Something which have been telling us, you know, go against the conventional wisdom. A leader like him can tell you, ki chadar se zyada pair philao. You know, this is a message. Go beyond your means, because this is what is required in Rotary. Rotary doesn't, you do not have means. We don't inherit a budget like a multinational corporations, or we do not have a budget like the government tax. We create our budgets when we dream big. We create our budgets when we know the size of it. So you need not have budget and confine your ideas that I will only spend this much. Go beyond your means. And then one more message, it is something which... Yes.
Aneja, just a minute.
Yeah.
Our vice president nominee is already in. Just let her welcome her and then you can continue. Can you spotlight Satish?
Yeah.
Aneja ji, go ahead with the welcome. Who else can do that?
Spotlight her and welcome her, please. Yeah, thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, but please continue. I'm enjoying listening.
He is your plus DG nominee.
This is Jitendra Reja.
I know.
Your extended arm in District 3190. We're looking forward to working
What an
together.
apt time you entered in.
Right time you entered. So, okay.
Sorry, Aneja. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I will continue with this. So friends, fantastic. This is something can come from a leader like Kamal Sangvi when he says, take risk, be bold, and don't be afraid of failures. Bane of many projects, bane of our many activities is that we fear the failure. So he says, don't fear the failure, take risk, be bold. I think that was fantastic. And then we had this way forward from Dr. S. Nagendra. Again, fantastic, how he's told that how a good, big, functional, effective, and vibrant Rotary Club should be functioning. Friend, that was ended day one, and the day began thanks to DG Fazal and District Trainer Nagendra. They gave me an opportunity to have 1 hour session with the president nominees, the past presidents, the vice presidents on a subject called Observe, Support, and Plan. And I was helped in this endeavor by my great friend, Dr. B.D. Patel. Fantastic, sir. We had a real great session. I will not speak about what I spoke, but maybe I will leave a 2-line message at the end of this summing up of the program. And then you had the entire day. Yesterday, the programs on different sessions, club service, youth service, vocational, international. One thing which this COVID has brought in is, in a normal district assembly, you would have finished it in probably half a day and maybe given only 5 or 6 hours. Here we got an opportunity to devote 20 hours, and instead of maybe 200, 300 delegates participating, you have a very dedicated audience and very interactive audience or Rotarians of reaching almost 200, 300 numbers in each of these sessions. That was fantastic. And I had to go through all these 5 sessions. I spent a few minutes in each of these sessions. I can tell you, the 3190's future and Fazal Bhai, that is in great hands because you have fantastic leaders, fantastic directors, and fantastic trainers. And more than that, fantastic Rotarians who are going to implement these programs. Fantastic. Now coming to day's beginning today, we had the membership seminar with the Rotarian past governor Raji Vadlamani, and then followed by Deepak Shikarpur for the RIPC Shikarpur on the public image, and followed by TRF. Fantastic. For sake of brevity, I will not go into detail, but I can tell you those who have attended, if they have listened to all these the presentations which were made in such a highly professional manner, if you keep even remembering one part of it, it will be your job is done throughout the year. And we are going to have, again, seeing the rise of 3190 to the heights which it has been put to today and maintained. Now, just to add my message in 2 or 3 lines, let me tell you, friends, things start happening by saying yes in Rotary. There are a lot of naysayers, but it is a message for all incoming leaders. Things start happening first by saying yes. You may not have the means, you do not have the money, you know the project is good, but don't say no. Start saying yes. And I'm remembered of the famous Hindi line of the movie, which Shah Rukh Khan acted. And I've probably repeated it more than once in movie the Om Shanti Om, that कहते हैं कि अगर किसी चीज को इतना चाहो तो पूरी कायनात उसको तुम्हारे मिलाने की कोशिश में लग जाती है. You know, this is something, a message which Swami Vivekananda also said, that take up one idea, make that idea your life. Think of it, dream of it, live on that idea, and let the brain, muscles, nerves, every part of your body be full of that idea, and just leave every idea alone. This is the way to success. I always have maintained, even in my club and to everybody I say, even in my company I say, that pick up one idea, one at a time. Don't get into, you know, all the directors of various avenue service. I know you are so charged up, you want to do 20 projects at a given time. If you have hands, you have members, please go ahead and do it. But take one at a time, finish it, go ahead. You will see the results. You know, friends, there is so much suffering today in the world. And we should, if we wake up in these mornings, and we should always be thankful to the God that we are alive today. And if we have food for us, for the family, for next few weeks, few days, we should also be thankful to God. I will leave with 3 important sayings of Guru Nanak. And this is what I wanted to end with, that Vand Chakho, Kirat Karo, and Naam Japo. You know, I always say Guru Nanak's or Sikhism's preachings are so close to what we are being preaching in Rotary. Vand Chakho means share your earnings, share your earnings. Kirat Karo means do your work diligently and honestly. And Naam Japo, okay, remember the God and thank the God what is happening. But friends, there are I am seeing during in these difficult times, I am on many WhatsApp groups. You know what is happening? People are fighting people because there is despair everywhere. Even still, there is a lot of political debates are going on, the debates which are dividing us. And somebody asked us, if we don't discuss it, what do we do? You know, even we don't discuss this, what do we do? I said, thankful to all the Rotarians. We in Rotary have sufficient work from day to morning to take care of it. We do not have to destroy our energies to doing it. Just let us build this society together and give them kindness, compassion, as Fazal Bhaiya said it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, DGN. Thank you so much. Once again, you are getting applauded by your president, Jennifer ma'am. She is so happy after listening to your speech. She is applauding for you, DGN.
Thank you, Jennifer. Now, this is my wife joining me to say hello to you.
Hello, Jennifer.
Okay, friends, moving on. We now have our district trainer who's going to address you. He's going to talk about all of you have been trained. Now, how you go forth and serve. Trainer, sir. Yes, sir.
Good evening, friends. RI President nominee and all the other leaders present here in this concluding session. We entered to serve on Friday evening. On this Sunday evening, we are going forth to serve. We have had 1,000+ participants throughout this 24 hours of training. 24 hours of training, including all the parallel sessions, friends. My sincere appreciation to the participants who were so serious in learning. It is said, through training, we change our thoughts, we change our habits. It is knowledge sharing, and we also enable skill development. This is what exactly happened to the participants in this 24 hours. Approximately 100 trainers, right from the groups that we have had, awards group, citation group, our DGN and Dr. Patel, the 5 avenue directors, 7 focus area directors, membership team, public image team, TRF team, all comprising approximately 100 trainers were there with us for these 24 hours. And my salute to all these 100 trainers, the leaders of RI District 3190, and quite a few others who came in like RPIC, RRFC, our ARC, and our own directors. And in fact, international service, we had an RI director from Greece, Rotarian Katrina. Friends, this was the glimpse of what we went through. My sincere appreciation to our district leader, Nagendra Prasad, who was present and who gave us that motivation. DGE, Fazal, you are the leader leading from the front. Your inspiration has been great. DGN, Aneja, you have been a great support. And one person who has been really pushing is our mentor, Nagesh. Friends, with all this, there was a core team which has really put in the efforts for last almost 15 to 20 days. May have this team, the training team, friends, this is the group that has worked. Right from Fazal, Nagesh, Satish, Upendra, DLV, Vimla, Prakash, Anil, Suresh Warrior, Shiv, Harini, Nandish, Keshav. Every one of them have really burnt midnight oil. I have had the opportunity of interacting with Fazal sir around 1:30 in the night. He sends a message at 1:30 in the night. In fact, I replied to him at 4 o'clock in the morning. This was the kind of interaction that we've had when we were preparing for district training assembly. Friends, all these people have really put in their great effort. My salutation, I take a bow to all these people who have made this happen. Probably my wife is the happiest today because she said the tensions you have had for the last 3 days is over. Now you can really sleep well today. Now she was the one who was really worried looking at me. Friends, I sincerely thank the entire team who have put together this training assembly. Friends, I'm sure this has given a food for thought to many of the friends. In fact, I was talking to few of the president-elects before we started the regular program today, and all of them were of the same opinion that today we are confident we can move ahead. We have got that strength to take our roles. This is exactly what we wanted, friends. The purpose of the district assembly was to give that confidence to you, give that inputs into you to go forward and serve. And friends, I tell you, you're all leaders coming in at a very difficult time. All the presidents and the club teams, you are really going through a difficult time. I'm sure you have taken it in your stride and you will do an excellent job. I'm really confident about it. Under the leadership of Fazal, the entire team will definitely do a great job during this time when Rotarians are needed the most in the community. Thank you very much, friends. I think I'm really happy that we have been able to give this kind of a district training assembly. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. As I've mentioned in the past, you've been an inspiration. You've been guiding us. You've been leading us from the front. This has been an amazing journey for the last 8 to 9 months. We have been training. We started, like I said, we started with emotional intelligence and then went on to do a lot of experimentation. We brought in a lot of innovation in training, and the end result is that there is wholehearted participation from all the clubs, and this training has been successful. And today we are in the concluding session, and now let's listen to our incoming leader, DGE Rotarian Fazal Mahmood, for what he has in the kitty and what is the way forward for our District 3190. DG, you will have to unmute. Yes. DG,
Yeah, right, Satish?
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. A very good evening to each one of you. Ellarge namaskara. Thank you, Satish. Thank you, past District Governor Nagendra sir, for this wonderful training. Our skyrocketing District Governor, Rotarian Nagendra Prasad, Chief guest and keynote speaker for this evening, Rotary International President nominee, Rotarian Jennifer Jones. Welcome you, ma'am. Welcome you to Bangalore. Our District Governor, Rotarian Jitendra Aneja ji, the pride of District 3190, PRID Rotarian Panduji, District Mentor, past District Governor, Rotarian KP Nagesh, District Trainer, Rotarian Dr. S. Nagendra, sir, RI officers, the pillars of our District 3190, who have given us a legacy and given us this wonderful district, and my co-district governor-elects throughout India, Sri Lanka, and Nepal. Changemaker district governors, and the district officers, Changemaker president-elects and club officers, friends in Rotary, friends of Rotary, ladies and gentlemen. A very good evening to one and all, and a namaskaram. Dear friends, at the outset, let me thank our Rotary International President nominee, Rotarian Jennifer Jones, for accepting our invitation to motivate and inspire our change maker leaders. Thank you, ma'am, for being with us here this evening. I thank past District Governor Rotarian Suresh Hari sir for this great connect. Thank you, Suresh ji. You are always an inspiration and a miracle man for all of us. Dear friends, we have inherited a rich legacy as our past district leaders have strived hard to build this strong and beautiful edifice of RI District 3190 over the years. Let us all work together and strive hard to retain the pride and glory of our District 3190. My congratulations to our skyrocketing District Governor, Rotarian Nagendra Prasad, who remarkably led his presidents and the 6,000 plus Rotarians in these challenging times. He and his team of skyrocketing presidents, along with the Rotarians of our district, have braved and stood in the forefront to handle every situation and served humanity in these challenging times. Endowed with the guidance from the past district governors, various leaders of our district, and fellow Rotarians, my path for the year 2021-22 will be very exciting when we serve to change lives. Past achievements and accolades achieved by our district will be the inspiration for us to get connected meaningfully with one another in our country and across the globe to serve when the doors of opportunity have opened to serve and change a lot of lives. Our district training team, under the label leadership of District Trainer Dr. S. Nagendra, have delivered excellent training sessions starting last 9 months. It was amazing. I'm sure all the district leaders and the club leaders would agree that they have had the best of training for the last 9 months. Apart from the Rotary knowledge, the Rotarians were given skills and strengthened by training in emotional intelligence, which is very necessary for the day. During the close interactions we had with Rotarians and Rotary Club leaders in these training programs, we have realized that our district Rotarians are really very energetic, passionate, committed, and filled with a lot of creative ideas. They all have immense intrinsic urge to contribute to the socio-economic well-being of the respective communities we live in. Dear friends, for the year ahead, this is my main source of strength and motivation, the friends which I have got and developed in Rotary. And this is an extended family. As our past district governor was saying, there were about 100 trainers in these 3 days. Believe me, my dear friends, I was overwhelmed with the passion and the excitement and the friendship they extended in these 3 days. As Nagendra sir said, that his partner and spouse was relieved that 3 days of pain and trouble that past district governor has taken. My spouse and my first lady for the next year also feels that she says that you have had the best of friends, and I could see this in the last 3 years. I am blessed to have such good friends in Rotary, my dear friends. Dear friends, your strength and willingness will be my guiding force to take up need-based service projects suiting to your areas of operation. I was reassured by the talent our training sessions and the participants exhibited at the district training assembly for their interactive participation. I'll not go into the detail because we just heard impressions from our incoming leader, District Governor nominee Jitu Bhai, how he covered, and he said what all this district training assembly has given to the Rotarians. Our district trainer and the training team had laid out an excellent training sessions in the last 3 days. We were overwhelmed by the participation of our Rotarians, and we were really, it was a pleasure to us seeing few past district governors also participating and interacting in the sessions. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being with us in this good training session. Dear chain makers, let us lead by example and be a role model to our next gen. As all of us are aware, the Protract has been elevated in Rotary. We are committed to encourage young people of our community. And now is the opportunity for the Rotarians to be role models and mentors to young people. You have seen during this pandemic times how we got well connected, and all our wards or maybe our COVID war rooms have been controlled by our Rotractors. I think they are energy for all of us. As our youth grow into young adults, we need to instill in them the same desire and the spirit of Rotary to serve the future generations. Now it becomes a bounded responsibility of every Rotarian to prepare them for the future. We need to encourage Rotractors to be dual members. We have requested all our district committee chairs to include one Rotractor and one lady Rotarian in all the committees. They will bring in a lot of new ideas and the energy which we need most during these times. I was just talking about the projects and what all we are looking out for the next year. I think Prakash did mention about few things. We are going to have Rotary Sahayoga. That is, every non-city club will get partnered with 2 city clubs, and any program or project we do on any of the focus areas, we'll be focusing it over at the non-city areas, in the non-city and the outskirts of Bangalore, where we have about 50 Rotary clubs, and we have about 100 Rotary clubs in Bangalore. So what we would like to do is every 2 clubs from Bangalore will get partnered with 1 Rotary club in the non-city and see that we do all projects there and see to that we make those villages happy villages. And when we are doing this, we would like to start an RCC there so that they will be there and they'll be taking care of the projects and the programs there as well, so that we give room to the RCCs as well. And then we will be emphasizing more on the teachers training this year, my dear friends. Of course, all of you know that there is Bring Back a Girl Child. So on similar lines, we would like to train the teachers by empowering the government school teachers in the cities and rural areas. So now you know the students are more empowered than the teachers in the digital world. But we will see to that we empower the teachers so that they get confidence to take care of the students. Because at the government school and the schools outside city, they need a lot of training, and I'm sure we'll be giving a lot of training to them as well. For adult education, we want to make it a literate India. So what we are planning to do is, instead of going out, we could start that right at our homes. We have our maid servants and drivers. So each one of us as Rotarians, Interactors, Rotractors, and the inner wheelers will start giving adult education to our own drivers and maid servants. And I am sure that you will be doing a lot of service to our own people who are going to be a lot of help to all of us. And we would like to start a Rotary Club for expats. We want to have, because they are away from home, and in these times it will be difficult for them. They won't have their family around. So we'll start a Rotary Club for expats and see that we are there as their extended family. And of course, Prakash did mention about human policing. I'll not go into more details. I've explained it. And we would have 12 Rotary days every last Sunday or a Saturday of the month. We would have a Rotary Day where we will showcase our projects and the programs what Rotary does at maybe shopping malls or parks or at business spaces, so that we invite the non-Rotarians when they see what Rotary is doing. So this will be a huge membership drive and a public initiative, public image initiative. Dear friends, we would like to have archives and documentation also. There'll be a director, because this will help us for our CSR funds and working with the NGOs. So I would say that we would like to have a committee for bridging continents on virtual platform to extend a hand of friendship and service across the borders. Dear friends, we need to dream big. Dreams are today's answers to tomorrow's questions. As we serve to change lives, we find our own purpose, add meaning and value to our own lives. We need to do more through service projects and observe Rotary days of service. If we have to do more, we have to grow more, my dear friends. We need to increase and grow our membership. In the year 21-22, we would add 2022 new members in Rotary. RIPE has given a membership mantra, each one bring one. And I'm sure all of you would take this challenge and see that we will be meeting that. Let's make Rotary an organization of choice that does not need marketing. As change makers, our priority in the Rotary year 2021-22 is to serve to change lives by engaging with our Rotarians, the communities we serve, the stakeholders we work with, and see to it that we empower all of them and then work in collaboration to celebrate Rotary. My dear friends, let us pray to Almighty, the Creator, give us knowledge which is beneficial and sustenance which is fair and good, and deeds which are acceptable to one and all. Thank you, my dear friends. I am sure you are going to be the change makers who are going to change our district in the year 21-22 and see that we serve to change lives. Thank you, Satish. Thank you, dear friends.
Thank you, DGE. Thank you so much. That was amazing. In fact, I can actually see RIPN applauding again. She believes we are on the right track. Thank you so much, ma'am. You are an inspiration. Friends, now it's time to introduce our chief guest, and I wish to call upon our PDG Suresh Hari to do the honors.
Thank you, Satish. Thank you, DG Fazal and Savia Madam, who is there. Thank you, Madam Jennifer, for accepting our invitation and being here. And though you said you can come in only for that limited time, you are joined much ahead to listen to the District Governor Alex rendition. And equally, I'm happy that you joined when your DG was talking to us, who is incidentally was my co-president during the year 2006-07. Thank you. To introduce Jennifer needs about, I think I will take the whole day, but let us not do that because it's more to listen to her. I can only talk a few of her exemplary achievements and attitude she has developed over the years as a Rotarian. Her talent has strengthened Rotary reach and impact through many roles, including as trustee of the Rotary Foundation, Rotary International Vice President, and co-chair of the End Polio Now Make History Today campaign, raising funds alongside Bill and Melinda Gates and their foundation for that effort. Jennifer is a leader in cultivating experiential fundraising opportunities such as Rotary Polio Golf Day with Jack Nicholas in Jupiter, Florida, USA, which raised a whooping $5.25 million for polio eradication in one day. That's phenomenal. Or the innovative virtual COVID-19 hashtag Rotary Response event that raised money for COVID-19 relief projects and showcased Rotary responses across the globe. What a phenomenal action. Instant action. Thank you, Jennifer. Working alongside political figures, celebrities, and global leaders, she uses her voice to raise awareness and hundreds of millions of dollars to eradicate disease, support peace, and provide clean water and sanitation in developing areas of the world. Her skill as an expert storyteller, which she is going to do today, a real story, inspires hopes and promises and motivates people to take action. She has received many honors and recognitions, including Rotary Service Above Self Award and the Citation for Meritorious Service, the YMCA Peace Medallion, the Queen's Diamond Jubilee Medal, and Wayne State University's Peacemaker of the Year Award, the first for a Canadian. We are proud of you, Jennifer. Jennifer is happily married to Rotarian Nick, a local family physician. They share a love for many things, including travel, cycling, golf, and relaxing at their family cottages. And they share a thirst for adventure, which has included cresting the summit of Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania, Africa. Wow. And of course, Jennifer is the founder and president of Media Street Production Incorporation, a 25-year-old award-winning media company in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. If I say she also looks 25, though she is only 24 physically. She is proud member of Rotary Club of Windsor, Roseland, Canada. Thank you, Jennifer. But I have to personally tell our connection. It was during the year 2017-18, when I was planning for my conference and I talked to our PDG case, Nagendra, give me suggest names. I was novice in Rotary world, I should say clearly. He wrote 3 names and the top of the name was Jennifer Jones. He said, marker, she is going to be the future. I rightly wrote to RI for you being my conference representative, and true to the attitude of the allocation, the third choice is allotted. I didn't spare it. I was intelligent enough to put somebody, but I wish I put you as a third choice, but I don't want to pull down there. And true to that, actually, I met you during our Jaipur Institute, sought you for our conference. I readily agreed, but you made it very clear it's a presidential choice. You won't take a choice. We were after you from 3190, looking at as a leader who is going to be the first to create history in the Rotary world, first to create that mark in the Rotary world. In fact, I took a challenge during my conference when Michael Abag was the representative. They took a challenge and said, make it 50-50 challenge. I'm sure you will do it in your year. Equal representative of women in Rotary. That's what we want to see that in Rotary happening. I'm sure in your year it will happen. I'm sure you throw the challenge to Fazal Mahmood also, who is ready to take a challenge of sort. And of course, at the Jaipur Institute, we had excellent interaction, and of course, Calcutta. Nice seeing you in virtual media, Jennifer. The world is panning out in the pandemic, and we all need to be safe. Rotary has taken the right call to make us all go on the virtual platform. We have changed our attitude and approach. Let us continue as safe as possible. And we look forward to as early as possible physically meeting each other and get connected to each other. I present to you the Rotary International President nominee for Rotary International 22-23. She also was the Vice President 16-17. She's a trustee from 2019 to 23, current trustee of Rotary Foundation. And also she was a director during 2015-16, to name few of the roles she had played, much bigger roles. Canada is very dear to me. My last experience was I was the last GSE leader in the Rotary world to Saskatchewan province. So that is my pleasure experience of Canada. Welcome to 3190, Jennifer.
Well, Suresh, thank you so much for the incredibly kind welcome. And I think I noticed Jitendra putting his thumbs up because you could hear my dog chiming in. She wanted to say something while you were giving your very kind introduction, and she may pipe up with a few words of wisdom while we're on this call. But to all of the Rotarians in District 3190, it is a privilege, an honor, and a pleasure to be able to spend time with you at your district assembly. District Governor Nagendra, thank you so much for all of the incredible work that you have done over the past year, a challenging year, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. DGE Fazal, it is a pleasure to be able to be here to support you, and what a wonderful 3 days it has been. I loved hearing the recount of everything that's happened over the time that you've been together, and just the inspiration. I wrote 3 words down: love, compassion, and kindness. That was a wonderful way to showcase what has happened during this training time. To DGN Jatendra, I am so looking forward, sir, to being able to work together with both of you. We're going to have a wonderful journey in the upcoming year ahead. But let me just say, all protocols observed. I understand that we have a number of leaders who are on the call, past district governor, council, and others who are with us. So
Jennifer, when you're on, I have to tell Ravi Shankar Dakoju also joined just now.
Well, I was actually going to recount that one of the last times we had seen each other, Suresh was in Evanston at our international headquarters, and that was for the Arch Clump Society installation of past President Ravi Shankar. And so it's a pleasure to see you, sir. Glad that you're on the call, and thank you for your leadership in your district, an incredibly generous district that has a wonderful history of supporting the Rotary Foundation, and an incredible pedigree of projects that you have in your district that I've been able to see on your Facebook page, certainly listening to, and they go far beyond who you are. You have a reputation in the Rotary world for the wonderful things that you're doing: your mammography bus, your e-learning, the comfort stations, the happy schools, heart surgery, so much of what you do that makes a difference in your community, in the lives of the people in your community. Now, let me just begin by saying that I would like to pay my condolences and my respect to each and every one of you who has lost a friend or a family member during this tragic time of COVID. And I know that in particular right now you are struggling, and it is a very challenging and difficult time for the entire world, but your country in particular right now is facing a lot of challenges. And please know that the rest of us the world over, our hearts are with you. I think of all of you daily. I know that in our part of Canada, we have been raising a lot of money to fund oxygen concentrators that we know are critically important right now to make sure that lives are saved. This isn't something that can wait weeks. It's something that has to happen now. And we're very, very, very much aware of that. Gracie, enough. My apologies for my dog. We're in a small space here, and she apparently would like to get my attention. To all of you who are here at the District Training Assembly, my sincere thanks to you for making this a priority, for spending the 3 days that you have coming here to understand how to make Rotary the best and brightest experience that it can be in your world. Excuse me for 1 second. Thank you. So to all of you, yes, the time that you have spent, and for your dedication, and for following the inspiration and lead of our incoming international president from your country, Shekhar Mehta. What an incredible opportunity to be able to serve as a leader in your district at a time when the international president of our organization is from your home country. This does not happen often. And Fazal, I know that you are incredibly lucky and to be able to serve alongside with President Shekhar. And Ravi Shankar, I see you being spotlighted right now. Sir, how are you? Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Krishna, can you help Ravi Shankar unmute?
Sure, sir.
Yeah, you can unmute, sir. One second. Now try unmuting, sir.
Sir, my sign is proper. I think audio only.
Sir, audio is it connected, sir? Is your because you are unmuted, but we're not able to hear you. Okay, he's asking you to go ahead, ma'am.
Yes, my apologies for calling you out, but let me just say it is a pleasure to see you. The last time I think that we connected was the last time that I was traveling, and actually was in India for the 100th anniversary of Rotary in India last February. So a pleasure to see you again. But as I was just saying, what an honor to be able to serve in the year that your international president is from your country. And I know that I had a similar opportunity when I was serving as a district governor-elect and as a governor in that year that the international president was from Canada. And it was something very special to be able to serve alongside one of my fellow countrymen in that capacity. For all of you who are serving at the club level who have attended this event, let me just begin by saying that there is no more important energy than we can spend than directing it towards our clubs. That is where Rotary happens. Rotary happens at our clubs. There is much of a hierarchy within our organization, but that's where everything meets. That's where we directly touch the people who we serve. And it is so critically important that each of you are feeling motivated for the year ahead. It has been obviously a challenging year. We know that the past 14, 15 months have been something that we want to wipe completely off of our slate. We know that vaccines are providing some stability in some parts of the world, but we need to get vaccines to everyone. One of the things that we know as Rotarians is that vaccines work. We are vaccine people. And so making sure we get them in a fair and equitable way across the globe into the arms of people, every man, woman, and child, so that we can all live safely together and take steps forward to a brighter future. It is going to be a challenge, and the next few months are particularly important as we make sure that we're taking care of each other, that we're socially isolating as much as we can. We remain also in my part of the world in lockdown for the next several weeks, if not months as well. And I think that one of the maybe largest takeaways out of what has gone on in this world is to understand that we have been united behind all of this, that truly every man, woman, and child on the face of the planet has had to travel and traverse through this horrific time. And I think in some ways that has a uniting factor. I think in some ways it strips away our borders and boundaries to understand how we exist together in harmony as human beings, making sure that we need to take care of each other. Now, one of the incredible things that we have seen out of this very dark time is our ability to understand how our polio infrastructure has taken steps forward to help us deal with COVID. For those of you who understand and know that polio is our #1 corporate priority, you understand that more than a decade ago, it was taken out of your country. However, as you all know, it exists still in 2 endemic countries, Pakistan and Afghanistan. This year, last August, we were able to take Nigeria off of the endemic list, which meant that we were able to take the entire African continent out of the endemic list. Now, that was a huge step, and during our darkest year, we did have that to celebrate, which was wonderful. But we also know right now that this year to date, since January 1, we have only had 2 cases of polio in our world. This is incredible. What is also incredible is that 2 weeks ago, the surveillance of environmental samples that was taken in both the areas of Pakistan and Afghanistan where cases have been seen, 60 environmental samples came back showing no evidence of polio in those samples. This is what it looked like 10 years ago in India. We're starting to see that perhaps the finish line is in sight. Now, we know that there's going to be bumps along the way, and there will likely be more cases. However, when it starts to mirror what you went through a decade ago in these endemic countries, we know that there is good signs on the horizon, the possibility of crossing the finish line and eradicating polio. We have made a promise to the children of the world, and Rotarians, We keep our promises. That's what we do. And so we're going to see this possibly in the next year to 2 years. There is a possibility that next year we could see the last case. It is a possibility. Let's keep our fingers crossed and say lots of prayers that that in fact is going to happen. Now, one of the other things about our polio efforts is that we have built a polio infrastructure over the past 30 plus years, along with our partners, the CDC, the WHO, UNICEF, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance. We have built this public health infrastructure in our world, more than 70 countries. And during this time of COVID, those polio frontline workers, the thousands of workers that we employ, that through the Global Polio Eradication Initiative, those workers have been able to not only do contact tracing and surveillance for polio, they've been able to do it for COVID. And we know that this is going to be a frontline asset to helping us with COVID in many parts of the world. And so when we think back to the 30 plus years that we have raised more than $2.1 billion together, that we have immunized more than 2.5 billion children on the face of our planet, we have done something collectively. Each of us have played a part in something so much larger than ourselves, the eradication of a disease for the second time in the history of mankind. Only smallpox has been taken off of the endemic list prior to this. And so we are going to make history together in the very near future. And I don't know about you, but there is nothing that makes me more proud than being part of a collective, along with all of you, that is going to change the face of the planet and remove a disease. That, my friends, gives me a lot of pride, and I hope it gives a lot of pride to you as well. We do have many things in front of us right now to look forward to. As I mentioned, President-elect Shaker is asking us to do a number of different things. He wants us to really focus on membership. And I am so pleased to hear that you have a goal next year of 2,022 in 2022. That is a bold and dynamic goal to be able to put in front of you. And certainly with 6,000 Rotarians in your district and Rotaractors, I know that you are up to the challenge. And so we need to look for the best. We need to make sure that we're bringing the best and the brightest in. But right now we have an opportunity through diversity, equity, and inclusion to take a look at how we include people of diverse perspectives. I heard it mentioned earlier, bringing in a Rotaractor and a woman into committees to try and create diversity in your district. I'm heartened to hear you take those kind of steps. It's a wonderful way to grow our organization. President-elect Shaker is also asking us to empower women and girls. This is a very important subject to him. And again, a way for us to broaden the diversity and the inclusion in our own communities. And that's not just your community, it's mine. It's every community in the world. The best thing that we can do is take a look around us to see the true reflection of our community and see that then reflected in our clubs, and to figure out how to give meaningful service engagement to those who participate with all of us. So each one bring one, the call to action from President-elect Shaker. And in that, 2022 is going to be a great number to watch. And I know that I'm going to keep my eye on that in the weeks and the months to come. Now, the theme that President-elect Shaker has selected is Serve to Change Lives. And I believe that that is a profound call to action. And as you look at the kinds of projects that you're going to be able to do in the year that you serve in leadership, this upcoming year, the possibilities are endless. And even though it is dark days and we have to be socially distant and mindful of being with other people at this moment, we know that Rotarians have been able to step up and step out. I like to say, and have said since the beginning of this pandemic, that when the world stepped down, we stepped up. We didn't need to have to ask Rotarians and Rotaractors to be people of action. You showed us that you already were. And even though we have had to step back, we have been able to accomplish really incredibly profound things. And one of those items is taking care of those around us, our family, our friends, our neighbors, making sure that those around us are safe. And that has been a challenge. Now, let me focus on a few of the things that we have in front of us from an organizational standpoint to focus on as well in the upcoming year. One of the things that I am enormously proud of is that we have decided as an organization to embrace the environment. And on July 1st of this year, the environment becomes a new area of focus for us in Rotary, enabling us to do global grants, to be able to fund the kind of projects that we want to take action on in our communities, whether it's cleaning up plastics, cleaning up waterways. There's all sorts of ways that every individual can make a small difference. And because we have 1.2 million members, hundreds of thousands of Rotaractors, hundreds of thousands of interactors and partners, we have a 2 million plus voice that we can amplify across the world. And each time each one of us takes an action, even though it may be small, they add up to big change. I think back to when President Ian Risley was serving a couple of years ago, and he challenged all of us to plant trees. He wanted us to change the environment through the planting of trees. And he wanted one for every member of Rotary. I know to this day, there are still thousands and thousands of trees being planted everywhere in the Rotary world. And it has far surpassed the 1.2 million that he perhaps thought in the very beginning. It has grown by leaps and bounds to millions of trees. And just think again of how we amplify that when we use our voice and when we empower our members to be able to be change makers like all of you are. Rotaract, let me talk about Rotaract just for a second. Rotaract was always referred to as a partner, as a program of Rotary. They are now aligned with us as a membership type. And we are walking this journey forward as Rotary and Rotaract together. And I think that a bright future is very much part of our organization because we are able to learn from each other. As we look to Rotaractors, they have lived their entire lives as digital natives. They understand this landscape that we are in right now more profoundly than ever in the history of our world. So when we think about mentorship, which I think is a way that we have where we can harness the most benefit. When we think of mentorship, oftentimes we think of it from a hierarchy standpoint, a mentor and a mentee. But I believe the relationship with Rotaract right now is one where we can become cross mentors with each other, that we have so much to be able to learn from each other. And that's why it's important to have their voice as part of our committees, as part of our leadership team, to give us the insight into how they think so that we can go forward from a united perspective. So there's a lot of things that we have going on right now that are exciting, things that we have to focus on. And I think right now, having the ability to look forward and understand that positive things lay ahead is part of how we need to deal with our own mental wellness. It has been a hard year. And being able to have things that are positive, that we know that we can put attention toward, that we can focus on, helps to take us from looking at dark days and perhaps look toward the future. And it will be a little challenging to get to that brighter future, but having Rotary to focus on right now, I hope is something that gives your hearts joy. I want to leave you with a final story. One that happened to me when I was serving as a district governor. The district that I belong to is an international district, and my club, I'm Canadian, is on the Canadian side, and we have many clubs on the US side of our district. And so as a district governor, I would cross the border between these two countries hundreds of times during my term as governor. And so one day I was crossing from the US into Canada, and I came face to face with a crossing guard who was not having a good day. And he had his arms crossed and he barked at me and he said, "Citizenship." And I said, "Canadian." And he said, "Where are you going?" And I said, "I'm going to a Rotary meeting." And he said, "Rotary? What's Rotary?" So I told him about my own club. I told him about the projects and programs that we were doing and some of the service work and fundraisers. And he looked at me and he said, "What else do you do?" So I told him about health and hunger and clean water and literacy and polio. Polio? Polio's gone. And I said, "Yes, sir, polio is gone from our planet in many parts, but it remains endemic at that time in 4, we now know 2 countries. And Rotarians are working tirelessly to make sure that every last child receives 2 life-saving drops." He started to lean in. He said, "What are you going to do about AIDS?" I said, "Well, sir, Rotarians are working on AIDS and malaria and tuberculosis and so much more." He leaned in a little more, and now he had a question. He said, "You mean to tell me that there are that many people in the world with that much extra time on their hands?" And I said, "No, sir. There are that many people with no time on their hands who are prepared to do this good work." And then he sat back and he looked at me and he said, "You have made my day." And I said, "No, sir." I said, "You have made mine." And then he said, "Please thank the people. Please thank the people." And so today, I have the opportunity to say thank you to each and every one of you for all that you are doing and all that you are going to do. You understand that being a part of the family of Rotary is something that gives you a passport, a global passport to doing good in the world. I am so thrilled to have been part of your closing ceremonies, the end of this whole meeting, to be able to say in person, thank you. And I hope one day that this will be in person and not through virtual channels. But until then, it has been a true honor. Thank you for your leadership.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. That was inspiring. And I don't know, I'm all charged to go out and do something right away. That's how charged I actually feel now. Thank you so much. I am, Krishna, can we get ma'am back on the spotlight, and can we add our DG to the spotlight? And can we also get our mentor and district trainer into the spotlight, please?
Madam, I just want to inform you that we had a physical pets. We had 100 plus president-elects, and we had the fortune of having Shekhar Mehta himself inaugurating this pets physically. He was present physically in Bangalore, and in fact, we were blessed to have him for 2 days with the 2nd and 3rd of April. He came here, he came to Bangalore and addressed our president-elects.
That's wonderful.
In fact, actually, our DGE has made a request. He wants to dedicate a song for you.
A song?
Yeah, so you're going to see another side of our governor. Go ahead, DG.
Yeah, thank you. Ma'am, when I heard your inspiring talk, I just thought that I should share a poem which has inspired me from the age of 5. That was our school song, penned by Sophia Tenbrook, Mrs. Sophia Tenbrook, and Mrs. Elizabeth Tenbrook, who were the founders of our school. They were Irish ladies. So at the age of 5, this poem has guided me all along. So I thought I'll dedicate this to you with a little tweaking. We will ever stand together in fair or stormy weather. And when there is a fight to fight, we will win it for the true and the right. We will never harm a brother, for ahimsa is our mother. So to aid distressed ones we will fly, bringing comfort, Gandhiji ki jai. O Rotary, to thee thy sons will ever be loyal. O Rotary, to thee thy daughters will be true. O Rotary, see all thy children united. O Rotary, to thee all honor due. In this world of pain and sorrow, we are working for the morrow, gaining knowledge and the vision bright to guide our minds and hearts through the night. We revere the ancient sages who have taught us down the ages, and our hearts are fearless, calm, and free, building for the brotherhood to be. O Rotary, to thee thy sons will ever be loyal. O Rotary, to thee thy daughters will be true. O Rotary, see all thy children united. O Rotary, to thee all honor due. Thank you, Satish. Thank you, ma'am.
Very nice.
I didn't know this side of you. In fact, you're the first lady, incoming first lady is smiling away, you know, so.
She also didn't know this side of me.
Ma'am, if you have a few minutes, then maybe we could take a couple of questions, if that is okay with you.
I'd be more than happy to.
Okay, can we get ma'am back on the spotlight, and can we get DG on the spotlight, please? Friends, if you have any questions, please raise your hands, or I would suggest a better way is to just
Before we start questions, Jennifer, I just have something to communicate. I know you must be receiving many emails. I've sent you one. Just look into it at leisure, search it, and then reply at leisure. No hurry. So this is what I wanted to communicate at the moment.
Thank you, Jitendra.
Nagesh sir, if you're listening, can you just open up your video? We want to bring you in. In fact, he is our membership champion. He's also the mentor for us in the coming year, current mentor as well. And he's set a very big target for the coming year. And Nagesh sir, if your video is on, then we could bring you into the spotlight. Yes, sir. No, Krishna, get all of us, in the sense, Jennifer ma'am, DG, and Nagesh sir into the spotlight, please.
Not able to spotlight, sir.
Now good. Now I can. Yeah. So, sir, she's very impressed with our target for the coming year. You will have to tell her how this was achieved during the PETs, and how the presidents have, wholeheartedly supported the idea that we can bring in 2,000 and more members and many more clubs.
Yes, madam, that's our district 3190 is a happening district, especially in terms of TRF. Yes, we are there. Membership, yes, 15-16 ward number 1. This year we're going to be ward number 1. And also we are planning ourselves to be ward number 1 for next 3 years. So for this, during PETS program, we involved all our president-elects, and through them analyzing and understanding the potentiality of our district 3190. Each one of them are committed with the number what they committed. We've taken the lower side. With that, we are able to arrive at 2022 a number. Definitely we're going to exceed beyond that.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am, we have a question from Akshay Malappa. He's asking, what is the path to achieving a Rotary which has a 50-50 gender division?
I'm sorry, there was someone walking in here at the time. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, what is the path to achieving a Rotary which has a 50-50 gender division?
Thank you. Well, I think that the most important, most salient point right now of achieving growth is putting a target out. And we know that the RI board, the Rotary International Board, has put a target of 30% for women in leadership positions. And so, in putting a goal, we know that we're very goal oriented. We know that putting a membership goal, we put it out there so that we can try to achieve that. I think that what I talked a little bit about earlier in terms of diversity, equity, and inclusion, I think that dialogue is fundamentally important, that we challenge ourselves to maybe have some, difficult conversations about, our balance of gender in clubs. And, that I think we need to have open dialogue about, how we move that forward. And that if it becomes part of the conversation, then it allows us that opportunity then to look at it from a serious perspective and to say, do we want this kind of, whether it's gender balance, whether it's age balance, there's a lot of different ways that we can look at diversity. But if we set those goals for ourselves and say that we want to make our clubs more inclusive, that's a first step. Now, from a club perspective, we also need to make sure that it is attractive to people. That if we are looking to bring in to an all-male club, that we're looking to bring in female members, you don't just ask one woman to join. I think that that's an opportunity then to look at, are there a few different people that you can bring in, different women that you can bring in at one time, so that they feel comfortable, so that they see themselves also in that reflection. So I think in any aspect of diversity, we look around to see how can we make sure that we're the best reflection of our communities. And with regard to women are half the global population. So if we want to be reflective of our communities, I think it's a pretty easy lift to be able to say that half of our population is women. Perhaps that means that some women could be part of our clubs. So it's a part of a broader conversation. And I think that if we're challenging ourselves to look at that, it's a good idea. I kind of take it from a business perspective. I think of it this way. In our businesses, if we had an underperforming market share, we'd look at how to change that. We'd look at how to make sure that we captured that part of our business market. I think for us, when we look at the female population of our organization, 25% of our population of Rotarians is women. So we clearly have an underperforming market share. We can do better with that. So I think that, if we look at it through that business lens, it starts to help us understand perhaps how we can do a better job of increasing the percentage.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Akshay, I hope that you had an idea of how the gender division can be looked at in our district and going forward. We have another question from Karthik. What's the way forward with Toastmaster as we had made the alliance recently, and how would it help Rotaractors?
I didn't hear the beginning of your question. It was breaking up, Satish, sorry.
So what's the way forward with Toastmaster as we had made an alliance recently, and how it would help Rotaractors?
Sure. Actually, I have just accepted an invitation from Toastmasters to speak at their convention, I believe, which is going to be held in August. And part of that is to reaffirm the relationship that we have with Toastmasters. One of the things that I like to talk about is that within Rotary, we're leaders. That is the hallmark of who we are as an organization. We're an organization of leaders. We bring leaders in and we make them better leaders. Who among us does not feel that we have become better because of our membership in Rotary? We become better perhaps at event planning. We become better at board governance. We become better at public speaking. There's all different ways that we become better through our engagement in our Rotary clubs. And then that, we take and it enhances our own experience in our vocational lives, in our business lives, which is great. So one of the things that we've done with Toastmasters is align with them. And specifically, we know that the cultivation of public speaking is something that is an important part of what Toastmasters offers in their leadership development. And so one of the things that is important for everyone who's listening today is to know that on rotary.org in our learning center, the e-learning center, that we have modules that have been created by Toastmasters and Rotary, where we can go on and individually do personal learning of different topics that have been laid out there. And so if you haven't had an opportunity to do that, I challenge all of the different members on this call to look at the Learning Center and take a look at what Toastmasters has put in there along with Rotary, and see if that's something, if you haven't done it, that it might be a growth opportunity for you. And so I really do believe that it's an opportunity for us to grow our leadership, our own leadership development skills in a very meaningful way.
Thank you, ma'am. I'll take one last question because we are out of time. Is there a plan to restructure international services to include COVID as one of the focus areas? It's a question from Prashant from my home club.
So let me share with you how we have been, the leadership role that we have played with COVID since the beginning of all of this. Many of you will remember when we went into lockdown early on last year, that our disaster response fund, where we were able to respond to different disasters in the world, that a lot of money came in and we were able to steer a lot of funding into that for help with district grants for COVID-19. So it was a very fast leadership role that Rotary took as soon as we started to having to deal with the pandemic. Very quickly thereafter, we had a telethon where we raised additional money that went into that fund, getting funds, critical funds, out to the front line for PPE, for ventilators, for food scarcity issues. So really taking an immediate leadership role. Now, we were able, through global grants and through the Disaster Response Fund, to put more than $38 million into the front line through grants to help our Rotarians in districts around the world to be able to help their communities. Now, we all know that that was $38 million that technically went through the Rotary Foundation. I can't even begin to imagine the hundreds of millions of dollars, perhaps billions, that Rotary clubs and districts just went straight to their community with it. It didn't even go through there. Because we're people of action, we knew that we had to take action, and we've done an incredible job of steadying our world at a challenging time. The senior leadership of Rotary International and the Rotary Foundation, the incoming line of presidents, myself, President-elect Shaker and President Holger on the RI side, and then on the Rotary Foundation side, our current chair, Ravi Ravindran from Sri Lanka, incoming chair, John Germ from the United States, and chair nominee, Ian Risley from Australia. We all joined forces, and we've been meeting bi-weekly with some staff and some medical representatives bi-weekly since, I'm going to say, late October. And we've been following very carefully all of the different things that have been going on around the world, and molding our strategy for going forward, much of which is advocacy to governments for fair and equitable distribution, and also making sure that we use our voice to make sure that we're putting out there that vaccines are safe and encouraging people to become vaccinated. We have people who are we see across the globe who are reticent to take a vaccine because they're scared. And so, you know, it's incumbent upon us as vaccinators, as people who believe in the science, to say to our friends and our neighbors, to encourage them to make sure that they are vaccinated, because until we have herd immunity across the globe, we will not be able to resume normalcy, whatever that will mean to us in the future. And so for air travel, for country to country travel to be able to resume, we need to make sure that vaccines get into the arms of all of us so that we're able to do that. And so that has been a role that our organization is taking. You'll continue to see that. The advocacy part will certainly be playing out in social channels and through speeches, et cetera, in the weeks and months to come. And everything that you're doing to help in that regard, I sincerely thank you. And I know that this was the last question, so let me just conclude by saying that my hearts and prayers, my sincere prayers and thoughts are to all of you and your families right now. Please be safe. Please please protect yourselves. And I look forward to a day when this dark cloud is going to lift off of all of us. And I hope until that time that all of you and your families remain safe and healthy.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for taking questions. I know you have a busy schedule. It's early morning for you, and I'm going to let you go, but please wait for another few minutes. We will have the formal vote of thanks by our district secretary designate, Rotarian Keshav.
Thank you, Satish.
Keshav?
Yeah. Good evening, all, and good morning to our RI President nominee Jennifer Jones and our PDG Suresh Hari. We are at the last part of our wonderful 3-day marathon district assembly training 21-22. My name is Rotarian Keshav, a district secretary designate. It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks. It is the biggest day for our incoming change maker club presidents and their entire board as we have completed a fruitful training. More than 1,300 Rotarians registered for this virtual DTA and logged in during our 3-day seminar. At one point, knowledge was flowing from 5 channels. This is a huge success in itself. This type of training cannot happen overnight. It requires meticulous planning and a bird's eye for details. The wheel started moving about a year ago. We have been fortunate to be supported by the team of very seasoned Rotarians. I will be doing injustice if I fail to mention all their contribution for the success of this DTA. Please pardon me for the long list, but we must thank them and at this forum. Let me start with thanking our visionary DGE Rotarian Fazal Mahmood and First Lady Rotarian Sabia Fazal for putting up a wonderful show. Thank you, DGE. We are always grateful to our beloved DG Nagendra Prasad for his support. Thank you, DG. We thank DGN Rotarian Jitendra Aneja for gracing this occasion. We were fortunate today to listen to RI President nominee Jennifer Jones, who joined us from Canada today for DTA. I thank on behalf of all our District 3190 Rotarians for accepting our invitation and being with us today and motivating us today, madam. Thank you. With a deep sense of appreciation, we thank our devoted Deputy District Trainer, Rotarian Satish Madhavan, and trainers, Dr. Upendra, Rotarian Vimla Malappa, Rotarian Anil Kumar, Rotarian Prakash Belwadi, Dr. Nandish Hiremet, Rotarian Suresh Warrior, and Rotarian Shiv Ballari for their untiring efforts. We had a presence of Rotary International leaders, Rotary RID Kamal Sangvi at an inaugural session, RID Katrina Kotsali from Greece at International Service Avenue, ARC Raj Lakshmi Wadalmani, RPIC Deepak Shikaripur, RRFC Lakkaraju Satyanarayan. We express a deep sense of gratitude for all the leaders for being with us. We had a jewels of district RPDG's presence and their active participation in the sessions. Thanks to all the PDs who have joined us today. Special thanks to PDG Flight Lieutenant KP Nagesh, KS Nagendra, Suresh Hari, Manjunath Shetty, Badrinath, Anant HR, Rajendra Rai, and IPDG Samir Haryani for your valuable inputs. Thank you very much, sirs. We thank all the Avenue Service, focus areas, public image, TRF, membership directors for active participation and rolling out of plans for a year ahead. Thank you one and all. No session is successful until we have a participants. What a wonderful and active participant we had over the last 3 days. Any words are less to thank all the president-elects, secretaries-elects, club board members, past presidents, lieutenant, zone, and assistant governor designates, and Rotarians of our District 3190. Thank you all. I also want to thank the people who worked behind the scenes to execute this event. Our technical arrangement, Krishnarjuna, and co-district secretaries designate, Rotarian DLV Sharma and Harini Ravindranath. I lack a word for their participation and their willingness to complete a task beyond their comfort zones. Finally, thank you all for making it to this training assembly a successful event. Wishing you all a good health. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you all.
Thank
you,
you.
Jennifer.
Thank you
Thank you
so
very
much.
much. Thank you for Sunday. We
yeah.
disturbed you in the morning. It was so nice listening to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And now request Krishna Arjun to play the national anthem. Can we all rise for the national anthem, please?
जय गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल वंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जाहे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाए नव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे बोलो भारत माता की
Jai. Thank you, Krishna. Thank you. We will have this meeting
Bye,
on
Jennifer.
for a few more minutes, and you can say goodbye to your friends. And hope to see you all soon in action. Thank you, Jennifer, ma'am. Once again, all the way from Canada, making time off. Thank you so much for being with us.
Take care.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir? Yes, sir. Great show. And Nagendra, Dr. Nagendra, good, sir. Fantastic. I had a good report about the sessions. Sorry, I couldn't join during the International Avenue because I had addressing another new club formation. So I said,
Once you are in the international area, you will forget international service. What can we do?
But his new international look is also looking good.
Yeah, I know. you become like on white.
Problem with immigration.
Hey, Fazal bhai, he's become like on white American actually.
When he comes back to India, they'll say, "Who is this?"
Yeah.
I have learned the trick of how to put a spotlight on myself.
That we knew it 2 years back itself.
Thank you. But you gave me sleepless night for a day when you called up 2 days back to ask for Jennifer. It was a tough call.
I'm so sorry. Thank you. I also had sleepless nights. At least it was a day for you.
No. For me, sleepless day and night. What to do? Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Right,
good
sir.
show.
Right,
and
thank you.
I had a lot of good comment about the program. See, I think Nagendra, you should be really proud. The district assembly really had the participation of who need to be there. That is what I observed in all the 3 days. And
That
I
is
saw
what we
in my
planned,
own...
sir. That is what
No,
exactly
sir,
what we
earlier
planned.
also we have planned like that. But what used to happen is the classroom session, we'll have 5 people, 6 people. But now literally everybody, I saw in my club, Fazal was posting a separate link to different, all the group. He was sending link for every group at time, making them who
Sir,
are to attend also he was mentioning.
Each group had more than, in fact, the community service had almost 300 people.
Yeah, never had that in district assembly.
And all other avenues, we had 150 to 180.
200, sir. It was fantastic. I can tell you this is great to see these numbers. I think this should be the norm in future as well. A lot of people.
This is a new norm. This is a new norm. Aneja, be ready for all this. This is more effective than physical. Physical, we will do fellowship. That is different.
You can have day after all these training programs, only fellowship.
Sir, Fazal sir, can I have one question, sir?
Hello.
Sir,
Who's this?
here. Actually, what I thought, see, our board members, everyone are aware of this project. That is this, what are the previous section has happened. I think that at least for our members, like those who are not having any position in board members, why can't we have one district like one day section so that they will also be motivated for our
We have proposed this.
members, sir.
No, Fazal sir, I will answer this. In fact, we have already developed a model. President-elect Ramana is in touch with me. What we have suggested is we need a group of clubs. We don't want to do it individually to all the clubs.
Correct, sir. Group of clubs.
About 8 to 10 clubs if you join. As a training team, we will come, or if possible, physical possible, we will do it. Otherwise, virtually, we will do the training. We have the model developed already. We will give this to a group of 8 to 10 clubs.
Yeah, and second, sir, second point. See, now so many members have lost the job just for my this thing. So they are eager because I came to know from other sources. Next year they are not able to pay some amount based on that one, something to be worked out to retain the members, because I saw in that percentage 1 to 2 years, a lot of members are going out. How to at least see that to retain, we should work out some plan. This is my second district.
We will, sir, we will.
Our governor has joined us. Governor, I just saw there was a missed call on the phone.
In fact, she recognized governor also in her call.
Yes, she recognized, but he was not there. He's just come in.
Yeah, and she complimented on the excellent.
Yeah, good evening, sir. I just came 5 minutes back. Yeah.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, Avachan. Kaisa?
Early governor, COVID time only, Sunday early, this evening
sir.
also. What is happening? Huh?
Yeah,
Look like having gone to the church and come.
Namdu Zoom call itte
He's had some meeting. That's why, some very important meetings, with some top government people.
Yeah.
That is why he could not make it.
Today has become like Jeff Bezos.
Welcome, DG.
Good evening, Fazal bhai. Congratulations. So completed everything. Very nice. And
you are the lead.
Good evening. Thank you so much for the wonderful program arrangements. Excellent,
yeah,
sir.
command and good attendance. I think good thing.
Excellent, sir.
Good.
Thank you for being through and through.
Satish sir, thank you so much. Well moderated programs.
So compared to Chandraprakash here,
thank you.
Bangalore North, compared to the physical meeting, the concentration in the virtual meeting is more. The physical meetings, even the participants comes there, but their concentrations will be less. What I observed in earlier meetings and in the earlier years. Now, this has given a very good raise actually. People are concentrating, taking note, and they are more focused about only their participation. So this is one of the achievements I think we have taken it forward, sir.
Very correct, Chandraprakash. Very correct.
PDG, Rajendra Rai there and.
Good evening, further. Well done. Nagendra, you are eating and drinking. I know.
Yes,
What
sir.
to do, yeah?
Thank you, sir.
3 days he has been eating and drinking virtually.
Yes, right. How are you?
I'm fine again.
No, in fact, the whole day today, starting at least the afternoon session, we started at 2:45. Till now, in fact, there was no break. And
I know that. No, it was a well-organized DTA. Suresh, it's good to see you, my dear.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Suresh, sir.
DG, sir.
Well done.
Chandraprakash in Bangalore.
And well done.
Yesterday I
Satish
spoke
too.
to Shan. Shan was they were talking about you.
Oh, he called me for
Thank you,
have
sir.
their special meeting.
Yeah, I updated him some. He wanted it.
Done, sir. Done, sir. Done, sir. Shan, we go a long way.
Thank you, sir.
Shan the baker.
Yeah. Always when we talk about you whenever we meet.
Okay,
Nagendra sir, you're looking great,
can
sir.
Can we close this meeting, DG?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Suresh, we'll keep
Okay.
meeting now on for 35 days.
Sir, ತುಂಬಾ
And
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ
I want
ನಡ್ಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ.
all the
Hats
training
off to
team
you, sir.
members to see a message on the group, please.
Meeting held, sir. It is a world-class meeting held, sir.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see all of you at one place.
Yeah. DTA.
Good. Bye.
A long
I
time.
want all our training team members to look at their WhatsApp, look at a message in the WhatsApp group, please.
I see Ramakrishna, Ramki from Lagos has also joined, a Rotarian from Lakeside.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So I'm just now joined. In fact, the new club XLRI addressed them today. They are formation group. XLRI alumni.
सतीश,
हाँ
आज पहली बार देखा हमने सबीहा और फजल दोनों साथ में साथ गाते हुए गजल. Thank you.
क्या बात है.
Bala, Bala.
Bala.
Bala sir, once again, if you
for great leadership.
For a change, it was a Western ghazal, yeah. First time I listened to Western ghazal. Thank you, DG sir.
Bye-bye.
Okay, friends, I think
Bye.
let's take a break. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, bye.
Thank you.
90 always, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you, Fazal sir. Thank you, Satish sir, Nagendra sir. Very nice training.
Thank you very much.
Last 3 days were exhaustive, but very knowledgeable, sir. Like very informative.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A very good experience and exposure, and a lot of knowledge sharing through DTA, especially.
Good exposure, sir. Really, very
PI,
good exposure to each and everyone,
Public image
so that they
seminar.
can plan in future to take.
Fazalji, super singing.
Sorry?
Fazalji, you sang well. We really appreciate your talent. Super, sir. Prashant from Kengeri, sir.
Oh, Matthew, sir.
Martin, sir.
Fazal sir, मुझे लगा आप कोई हिंदी गाना गाओगे.
Yes, sir. Same here. I thought you'll be singing some Bollywood song in praise of Jennifer.
I had my wife beside me.
So you should have muted her actually. You should have muted her.
Very nice. Sir.